This is my mom, and she was fixing my hair for something. I don't know what it was. But if there's, just go through stuff and pull out whatever you would like.
Marylee Welts was born on November 9, 1949 in Culver City, California, to James Franklin Thomas and Mary Catherine Bonanno. Her parents met when her mom was 16 and her father was 18. They got married soon after in January 1949. When her mom was at the age of 20, she gave birth to Marylee. When she was 3 years old, Marylee won 5th place in a children's beautiful baby photograph contest for the city of Los Angeles. She enjoyed hopscotch dancing and rollerblading as a child. When asked what her favorite subject in school was, she said it was recess. One memory she still recalls is when she played a carrot in her school production of Peter Rabbit. She was so nervous she peed on stage in front of everyone, but she laughs about it now, saying she's known for her weak bladder. At the age of 7, her first brother was born, then a year and a half later, the second brother came. Although she had 2 brothers, she said psychologically she felt like an only child due to the fact that they were so much younger than her and so close in age to each other. She often had the responsibility of watching over them and still to this day describes them as pests. As kids, they would cut hair on her dolls and were constantly getting into trouble, but she still loves them. Marylee's biggest passion as a kid was dancing. Her fondest memory was when she had the opportunity to tap dance with a few members from the Mickey Mouse Club. She had a neighbor who worked at Disney Studios, so one day she brought Marylee along to the studio. Her mom had packed her tap shoes in her bag, and for 20 minutes she got to do a tap dance routine with Bobby Burgess and Darlene Gillespie from the show.
Marylee considered her family to be in the lower middle class. She once considered pursuing competitive roller skating, but because of the travel expenses for competitions, her parents decided it was too much. She recalls her only family vacations were road trips to visit family in Connecticut. Despite the fact that she couldn't do certain things, she felt like she never went without. For example, when hula hoops first came out, her parents got her 3 of them. Growing up, Marylee described her parents as strict. She recalled never being able to go to any boy-girl parties or dances, no matter how badly she wanted to. When she reached the 9th grade, she was able to go to her first dance when a few of her friends stopped by her house to grab jewelry. When her friends arrived, her dad questioned why she wasn't going with them, and then told her that she could. Though her parents were strict on her, they were the total opposite with her brothers. One of her brothers was in a rock band, and both experimented with drugs. Yet Marylee was told that ladies should be seen and not heard, and to always dress conservatively. Growing up and attending high school during the Vietnam War shaped the way she was expected to act and dress. While other girls at the time wore in bell-bottoms and tight skirts, she was expected to dress like a lady, pantyhose and all. She says that's one thing she admires about our generation, is that women today can express themselves and challenge authority. Marylee's high school years consisted of school, drill team, friends, and work. She attended John Burroughs High School in Burbank, California, where students were either on a college prep or clerical path.
When I was in high school back in the day, you were a college prep or clerical. And anyways, I was college prep and I was struggling because I was on drill team and did all this other stuff, and you had to maintain a C average, which wasn't hard. But the Spanish and the math were killing me. And my counselor, who was a man at the time, said, Marylee, just take bookkeeping, forget the algebra. And my dad said, why did you change your major? Well, Mr. Voss said, and I told him, and oh, he was not happy.
In addition to drill team, she worked at a family friend's small Catholic shop as a cashier. One difference she noted from high school in her days was that they had sororities. She still keeps in touch with some of her high school friends. Just recently, she had her high school's 50th reunion.
Several years after graduating high school, at age 21, Marylee married Jerry Welts, and they moved in together. According to Sandrock, this early marriage displays Erik Erikson's psychosocial development stage of intimacy versus isolation, in which there is a need to make a deep personal commitment to others. Shortly after marriage, they tried to start a family, but unfortunately experienced complications. She was planning on going to a fertility clinic when at the age of 27, she got pregnant with her daughter Monica, which she described as a happy accident. 2 years after giving birth to Monica, she had her second child, a son named Ryan. Marylee told us her favorite job was being a stay-at-home mom to her 2 wonderful kids. When her kids were in middle school, she re-entered the workforce. She got an interview at California Lutheran University with Dr. Leland, who was, at the time, the dean of the School of Education.
And he interviewed me. He says, well, what do you know about Cal Lutheran? And I went, well, I had to think. And I told him I knew that the Dallas Cowboys practiced here. That was my only real connection with the university. And he goes, you're hired.
After 28 years of marriage, Marylee and Jerry got a divorce. However, today they're still very good friends. She says they're probably better friends than they were husband and wife. Marylee is a loving grandmother to 3 amazing grandchildren, Bailey, Bentley, and instant granddaughter Bella. Bella is a granddaughter by marriage when Marylee's son married Bella's mom. Although 2 of the grandchildren are biological and 1 is not, there is no difference for Marylee. She loves all 3 kids equally. One of her favorite pastimes is having the grandkids over, watching TV, and falling asleep on the living room floor with them. According to Sandrock, grandparents are a source of biological reward and continuity, emotional closeness, and remote role. She became a grandmother during the middle adulthood stages of life. This is the typical time period for adults to become grandparents. This closeness between grandmother and grandchildren could be attributed to Marylee's Italian background, which tends to be a more collectivistic culture, meaning that grandparents are more involved in the lives of their grandchildren. Along with being a grandmother, Marylee still works full-time here at CLU and helps her brothers take care of her aging parents. Marylee falls into the category of older adults who continue to work full-time. She believes she will work for 3 to 5 more years as the Executive Secretary to the Vice President of University Advancement.
So the next milestone will be retirement. I don't want to retire. I don't feel like I need to retire, but it's getting a little harder to keep up with some technology and changing things change.
However, after she does retire, she wants to travel. She continues to work to make a living, but also because she loves her job so much. Once she does retire, her bucket list includes traveling to Bali, the Netherlands, Morocco, Japan, Sicily, and India. She also wants to continue doing genealogy searches to learn more about her family history. Once she retires, she will shift into the category of older adults that retire and become active in recreational and leisure activities, such as knitting, which is what she is currently learning. Marylee now spends a lot of her time helping her brothers take care of her parents. Her parents lived in Las Vegas until recently. Because of her dad's health, her parents moved in with her brother in the San Fernando Valley. She described caring for her parents as a huge role reversal. Luckily, in order to deal with the stress that comes along with caring for an elderly parent, she has a very close-knit family and support system. Sibling relationships tend to persist through life for most adults. According to Sandrock, 85% of adults today have at least 1 living sibling. Fortunately for Marylee, she has 2. Relationship amongst adult siblings can be either close, rivalrous, or apathetic. According to Sandrock, siblings who are close to one another in adulthood tended to be close to one another in childhood.
One is in Burbank and one is in the Valley.
Okay.
So they're close.
Yeah, but they're very close. Sometimes too close. they're good. They're good people.
According to Sandrock, Marylee has achieved integrity in the stage of integrity versus despair in Erik Erikson's final stage of psychosocial development. This is a time when one reflects on the past. After a life review, someone can have a positive view on their life, known as integrity, or they can conclude that one's life has not been well spent, known as despair. After speaking with Marylee, she seems to have come to a state of integrity. She said that although her life was not filled with extravagance or crazy stories, her life was good, and she can look back with content. She has no real regrets, and she believes she has gained more confidence in herself as she aged. Her last piece of advice for people our age was to be your true essence.
I would tell a young woman at this point, wait till you're 30 if it's really possible. I mean, you fall in love and you want to get married, or he pops the question, but I wish I had done things. I wish I'd done more traveling. Get your traveling, build your account, and when you get married, you have your own account. That's one thing my mom always told me. And she showed me little tricks about where to put money and I'm glad and to this day I still do it. Just take care of yourself, physically, mentally, and spiritually, and do good things. Pay it forward. Pick a charity. Give back. It should be CLU, right? Annual fund. But, just give of yourself. Follow your heart. Really do what you want to do. Don't settle. Don't settle.